Hello, it's Steph here from the Canadian Schoolhouse, and this is our third week of our art contest that is focused on showing how nature grows. So we are looking forward to seeing lots more submissions. We've gotten some great ones in already, and it's great to see that creativity come through. So each week, if you haven't caught some of those videos, we have one last week and the week before going over a couple of the different categories. So far we have gone over creative writing last week and a little bit what that's about, and then the first one being photography. And we just went a little over a few submission tips. And so this week we are going to share some videography steps with you. So to do a video submission, which sounds the most fun to me personally, it's a 1 minute or less video, and really your video can be as short as you think it needs to be to capture something. I was actually just out walking around our trails with my boys today, and I wanted them to do this project. Now, because I'm an employee of the old schoolhouse putting on the contest, my boys can't really enter and win prizes and stuff, but I said I still want, excuse me, I still want you guys to do it just as a fun, creative project. So I talked to them about that today, and as we were walking around, I just had all these ideas came in. So of course I shared it with my boys, and I'm not really sure what they're doing yet. I told them they got till tomorrow to give me a little outline of what they want to do, and I'll probably set some of that stuff up for them and help them do that. But just a couple of things I thought, like you could take, so we have lots of trilliums growing around, which in Ontario, that's actually our provincial flower, and around our property, the trilliums are just popping up everywhere, even like right on the trail where we're walking. They're really quite hardy little plants. And so they're going to come up right now. Most of them are just like little leaves, and it's a great time to be able to catch that. And to me, that's just like showing how nature grows. So take a picture. This is my one suggestion. Take a picture of that plant and try to be in the same way every time, to try to be shooting it from the same direction every time, and take a picture of it every day. And those trilliums, really every day there's actually quite a bit of difference, especially when we have some nice sunny days, which we've been a little bit lacking lately. Today is a beautiful sunny day, but when we get those really sunny days, lots in a row, and it's really right warming up, I mean, those plants just come out really quickly. And you would probably find that around your area, wherever you are, whether you're in the city, right out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to find lots of plants that are in that stage right now that you can go around and you or your kids, remember this contest is for children starting at the age of 7 and goes right up to parents. So I would really love to see some parent submissions, and just use this as a wonderful creative outlet yourselves too. So going around your area, that could be one idea, that could be one video. So the idea is that even though you're taking a picture, you're going to put all of those pictures in a video, and then this video is going to show the real progression of something growing. So I thought that was kind of cool. There's quite a few other little video ideas. Again, it needs to be less than a minute. So I'm just going to go over a couple of those tips. Less than a minute. Some video editing software I wanted to share with you. We've got a couple of them. We use Movavi. I used a little bit. I also use Wondershare. So those are two paid options. They're not very much, less than 100 in the amount of editing I do for my work, and the kids do it for a little bit of fun projects they're doing. It's really, they're really nicely priced. But I wanted to also share some free video editing, and they're actually pretty good. They're not something to say you can't. They seem to have quite a few of the same capabilities, I guess, same features. And so two of those are, let me read this. So OpenShot is one option, and then Hit Film Express. And as Christine's got that up there right now, she's got those links put in the comments for you, so you can just go and check them out. And be able to play around with that. So I just love the video idea. It's a little bit of creating, you know, you can really put so much together. Now, a couple submission tips that we have for that video is that we don't want too much, because you can get into so much fun with videography. So with your video editing, we don't want to see filters over your whole picture, no text being in these, so you don't need text overlays in there, just really your whatever you're catching in nature, whatever that clip may be. And I suggested something where you take a photograph, put all those photographs together, and then you can make it into a video. That's one option. You can go and also do video clips, several little video clips together. That's another option. You can also just catch something at one time. We've got a couple of turkeys here. Our pet turkey. They're not inside the house though. But anyway, we've got two turkeys, and they're always roaming around the yard. And I actually thought, wouldn't that be a great video thing to get and try to get some nature behind him? Our Tom is the one that wanders the most, and get some of that nature behind him, and then do, you know, 2 or 3 clips of him being all through nature, the way he wanders around, and watching the movements that these turkeys do regularly. It seems very monotonous and boring when watching him, for him to be like that. But I love seeing that. Same with my chickens. We have turkeys and chickens, and just watching them do their chicken and turkey thing is pretty cool for me. So you might have animals around as well, even your pet animals, and maybe you want to include them into your shot of nature, because for you, your animals, the ones that you're raising and the ones that you have as pets, are really a big part of nature. And to me, that's a lot how nature grows. So I also wanted to talk over just a submission tips for any type of submission. So one of the things that we're going to ask you to do is to name your artwork. And you want to name it in a way that it's kind of representative of what you're showing. Just like if you see a piece of artwork up on a wall in a gallery, it always has a name, right? So you want to give that piece of art a name, whichever it is, whether it's a photograph, a video, creative writing, or drawing and painting. So whatever that happens to be, you want to give it that name. And when you do your entry submission, so when you go to that contest page and click on over to the contest form, you're going to be given a field that you need to name that entry in. And then also really important is the naming of your file. So for the videography, you want to name your file, starting off with the age group you're in. So say you're a parent that is doing a submission, then you start with just the word parent. Other ones would be the age range. So at 7 to 10, 11 to 14, and then 15 to 19. And then you have your the category that you're doing it in: photography, videography, creative writing, and the drawing or painting. And then you have it just left me. So the age, the category, and I don't think it's going to come to me right now. Shoot, it's on the contest page though. That layout of what we want that what that naming of the file is going to be. And the important reason for that is we get the files when they come in. When you submit it on a file, your file of the artwork, whatever file format that's in, is going to go in one folder for us. And our judges, so that they can judge blindly, so that they're not seeing all the information and the names and everything of people coming in, submitting the entries, they just go through that file of submission entries, right? They're just going through your actual art entry. So it's really important that name that you put on your entry is going to line up with the name of your entry and of what you put in there. So keep that in mind, that your name of your entry, really important. And again, that's all our categories that it's in. So so our talk today that we're going to do on our pillars, so if you join me for a couple of our other ones, you've heard me talk about our first two pillars. So these are the pillars that we came up with at the old schoolhouse, which of course is the Canadian schoolhouse, is just the Canadian side of the old schoolhouse. And these are the pillars that that were come up with mainly for the reason because we are celebrating 20 years serving the homeschooling community this year for 2021. So all of our magazines show that 20th anniversary edition, and so we thought it a great time to come up with these pillars that are not only really relatable to the homeschooling life, but also to a life with Christ, to the life that that we want to have as parents and as children, and raising our children in the ways of the Lord, that we can follow all these nicely. So today is about hope. And I'm actually just going to read, because I really like this, the description of it, and we've got this description just about our we've got it for every pillar, and I haven't always just read it off, but I wanted to really let you know about what this pillar of hope is, right as we've designed it, as we've developed it. So we believe the hope of the world is Christ himself. The old schoolhouse delivers hope to the homeschooling community and families worldwide, corporately placing our hope in God as we raise a generation that will offer much hope to their communities and to the world. So that hope that we have in Christ is also that hope that we have. I mean, we're doing this homeschooling journey. Nowadays it's a little bit more popular, but so whether you've just started recently because the public school is a little bit less appealing, or not happening at all, depending where you are, but taking on the homeschooling life. And I hope so many of you that are doing it, that are homeschooling because public school is just a really difficult option right now. I hope you're just going to stick with it. I hope you're going to see how wonderful it is, and how much you can instill your values, your family values, and your values in life, and how really this homeschooling way of life is like it's a lifestyle, and it's really not that hard. Once you've got the right resources, it's not that hard at all to educate your own children. And I don't know too many homeschoolers that aren't just using resources they're getting from somewhere else, right? We're guiding, we're leading, we're finding the right curriculum for our kids, but really the teaching isn't we don't have to come up with everything, right? Thank you, God. Because I would not be doing it if I had to figure out everything myself. I like to think I'm pretty organized in some ways, and I do enjoy teaching. I enjoy showing people new things, and I certainly enjoy that with my boys as well. But to really come up with everything and see that I'm covering the subjects properly, and letting them experience new subjects and new topics of curiosity and all that is something I am quite happy to do through curriculum. So the resource we have for you today is called the Guide to Examining Curriculum. And now when you go to the store, Christine will share that link there if she hasn't already. When you go to the store, and it's going to be the old schoolhouse store that you're going to get it in. It's free though. So you're going to go through that process just to check out your free item. And then it's actually a guide we put out, and it was 2010, but don't think that date makes it any less relevant to choosing curriculum today, because choosing curriculum isn't so much about what curriculum is out there, but it's a lot more about what works for your family. So just a couple of the names of the articles. There was like choosing curricula to fit your family, just exactly like that. I find that when I talk to other homeschoolers, they are using it's a great conversation to have with homeschoolers about what they're using and how they find that, and I really enjoy that kind of conversation. But I really do find that I am not doing the same thing as any other homeschooler, nor do I find any other family doing the exact same thing, even if they're using the same curriculum in one area. maybe with the main subjects, they're both using the same curriculum. They're really going about it in a different way. They have their days set up differently. They're just, it's really a unique experience. And one of those questions that come up a lot on homeschooling support groups, so lots of groups on Facebook and just in other places, is that, you know, so I have a you know, a 6 and a 9-year-old, or usually they put in the grades, and what's a good math curriculum? Well, we can tell you, any other homeschooler that's done it, we can tell you, well, we've used this, but we really can't say what's going to be good for you. So it's all about getting these ideas from other homeschoolers. Not that that's a bad thing to put in for a question, right? You're going to get lots of ideas, but then you need to go through that curriculum, those different suggestions, and see which one is best going to fit your family. And sometimes you're not going to know that until your kids go through it. I have experienced that a lot. I didn't know. I love certain curriculum, and I love the whole layout of it. I liked what my part would be in it and what the kids can do individually, but you know, it just didn't work for my kids, so I just had to let it go. And I know there's another article in this free resource here, the curriculum guide, about that as well, like just going over and analyzing a curriculum and giving you some tips on how it would work for you. And another thing that's in there is some reviews, because we have a whole review section on our site, and on the Canadian section of the site, we have reviews just from Canadian companies. So that you can go onto any homepage. Christine's probably going to share the link here as well in a comment, but you can go to our homepage and you'll see our 3x2 section of all our content sections. So Life of Home Learners, Creator Corner, Explore Geography, Canada History Buffs, Family Food Time, and then there's product reviews, homeschool product reviews. And that's where you want to click, and you're going to go you're going to get a list there of just the Canadian reviews. So reviews that are of Canadian companies. And then there's also a little paragraph at the top, and you can also go to a link then for our reviews of international. Lots of stuff from the States, but there's also lots of stuff from other countries that are putting it out. So that is an excellent resource as well, to see the reviews that are all on there. Almost a little overwhelming. I think we've got like 6,000 plus reviews there, I think is the number we're at about right now, and it's always growing. We've also got, I hope you've seen the spring magazine, and you can read this for free digitally at tosmagazine.com, and you'll always go to the most recent issue, but you can also search all the other issues. You can see all the other issues through that same link. Ooh, and I just dropped our little Schoolhouse Teachers leaflet. But on this, we also have lab reviews that we get printed. So we print 5 lab reviews. These are reviews that are in the single review section, and you can see them on the magazine, in the magazine. So on the digital issue of the magazine, and then go and see all those other ones as well. Go and see all the other stuff that's in that magazine. We've got like great stuff in there, as you saw on the cover, the plant professions. There's some information. I was just kind of going through it because I was getting ready for this live, and they've got the nice article on dyslexia, because that's actually our theme for next month. What are we? April, May. So May is homeschooling with dyslexia and other sort of learning challenges that our kids can have. And you're going to find lots of great stuff in there about lots of different topics, and our reviews in there. So I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to tell you that our next Monday, that's going to be our last one. So you have until April 30th to get your contest entry in. We're seeing so much great stuff already, and I hope to see yours. Encourage your kids to get out there. Such a great reason to go out with a real focus of that nature study. Oh, and don't forget, now you go to the contest page, even if you don't have any interest in being part of the contest, it's just not your thing, or not the things for your kids. Go there and get the free download of Creative Nature Study. It is like 100 or so pages of different different ways, different methods, and different encouragement to get out with your kids in nature and just be able to experience God's great creation in so many different ways. And we're hoping that it does also give you a bit of inspiration to enter the contest that we have going on for all the month of April. So I will see you next Monday for our final Monday submission tips and contest live here. And we are also going to talk about our fourth pillar being the pillar of future. I'll see you then.